once again for joining me today in this urgency meeting about resilience. Note I didn't say emergency, it's an urgency meeting because the time we have to spend together, maybe the 500 seconds you've chosen to share with me, hopefully we'll have the time to take in all these 500 seconds. Maybe you'll have time for a few minutes or a few seconds. But I think it's important to note not the fragility of this life that we are living, but I think it's worth noting how tenuous it can be when we're not attending to basic things like health, finances, relationships, job, car maintenance, yard work. But many of these aspects are outside of us. Those same things that I mentioned just now might sound at first external, but those kind of things are things we should take care of and should note as priority inside of ourselves. I do talk about oftenly, I made that word up. But by the way, oftenly is a word. It's in the Oxford English Dictionary. It's an old note about it was used before. But of course, often is the preferred term. But oftenly sound like a pretty sexy way to say the same thing, but with with extra syllable there. Oftenly. Anyway, I often speak of that infrastructure that seems maybe elementary to most of you out there, or maybe sounds even silly, to try to put some structure around this quality that I'm saying connects you and I, connects all of us together more than what distracts or separates us. Of course, the main thrust of every conversation in the 820 enterprise is about resilience. So I always come back to or come forward with another statement about what seems somewhat ethereal or soft or out there as far as a concept to describe to you what is important to me to share about the substance of that infrastructure. The thing called that raw desire that all of us have almost in every moment of this day. But then that's one thing. To further refine and hammer on that desire to make sure it falls into the positive yes and love category, for us to start concerning ourselves with producing from all the created resources around us. We don't create anything, but start with that raw desire, dross. Now we can start talking about what to do with it. To exert some effort, some work into that raw material, that raw desire. That's going to require a personal, unique discipline to start hammering out the edges on that nugget, making it start to shine, start to make sense to us in what we're learning of our message and our purpose. And then as we work with that material, that raw essence, now we're into the dry part. And that thing starts to take shape as you're undergirding, I keep messing that up, undergirding of what you do starts to solidify, get some bones on that structure. Now you have a drive, an operable vehicle, if you will, that will become in a few moments what I'm talking about. The beauty of your presence. But now you have started with working with the parts, the gears, the fluids, the mechanisms. And now you have an operable, serviceable beauty in your presence to then take forward into the world. You're still protecting and maintaining that inner drive, that inner discipline, that inner desire that was given to you and given to me by our Creator. We didn't create that part. That creation thing, that job was taken. Our job is to maintain that. And more importantly, to produce from that. Where? In the very presence that I keep talking about in these episodes. It's not about how good you look, how tall you are, how much hair you have, how much money you have, where you drive, where you live. No. It is true, your presence precedes you. And I mean, where you're going out to a club or going to work or going to the gas station, your presence should precede you and not follow you. Yeah, you can get into changing that word to your reputation, your aura, your status, however you want to put it. I use the term presence and the beauty of it. And then as I am trying to relate these observations to you, I want to give you that model, that process model for life that can help you. You can refine it, you can destroy it, you can use something better for your particular journey. As I said before, I don't offer you the best answer on your journey in terms of resilience. I only offer you my example that you can laugh at, scoff at, ignore, or reject. It would be nice if you would accept it just as a reference point, as a guidance point, as a signpost, perhaps. But you can definitely refine and define your own boundaries and protocols for how you'll get to where you're going. I can't tell you how to do that. All I can share with you is my experiences that I hope serve as not as something you can aspire to. I ain't that guy. I'm just a simple, humble guy who's had some fortunes, many fortunes, despite what I've done to myself and this body in this life. Yet I'm still here to share with you for some reason. I have something to say, something to share, something to express that I hope helps at least one of you out there on your journey. If you have something similar to mine or comparable to mine, it's still, we are coming at this topic and this meeting from the same uniquely given and graced essence. Stay present. Stay current. No matter where you are in this world, please remember, it is always 8:20.